So, good evening and welcome to our Creative Living series. It's such a joy to see each one of you here again and to know that we are gathered here in this space for learning, for insight, for sharing, for growing. Every good thing would always happen here because you are here and Spirit is here with us. I believe we are all gathered here for a reason, even if we can't always see it clearly in the moment. Something within you, perhaps a quiet inner nudge, has brought you here tonight. And I'm happy that you're here. It's that part of you that longs for a little more clarity, a little more peace, a little more joy, a little more truth. Whatever it is that brought you here, you are welcome. And it's the same part that always knows deep down that you are so much more than your challenges, your struggles, more than your past, more than any challenge you face. You are more than that. You are more than that challenge. Within you is a magnificent being, the divine spark. And what we do together in this circle is to awaken that truth. Do you know that truth that says that you are more than enough, that you can do all things, that your best years are ahead? We open ourselves to greater understanding of who we are and how life really works. Not just through trial and error, no, but through profound spiritual principles that govern the universe. Tried and tested principles. So as you sit here, know that you are in the right place at the right time and with the right people. Every good thing it's happening. Spirit has led you here. Spirit is ready to meet you right where you are. Remember, Spirit, it's available everywhere, 24/7. In full measures. So tonight we'll explore something that lies at the very heart of our teaching, and in fact at the heart of life itself. It's a question that sooner or later every person asks in their own way. The question is this all there is? Maybe you felt that question rise in a quiet moment for you. Life can sometimes feel like a loop. Working, paying bills, handling responsibilities, celebrating small wins, facing challenges, and then repeating the cycle over and over again. Even in the middle of the blessings, there's often a small voice inside that whispers, there has to be more than this. You set your target, you surpassed your target, what next? That little voice inside isn't about being ungrateful. That's not what we're talking about. But everything inside is longing for more. It's about a feeling of a deeper pull, a desire for more meaning, more connection, and a life that feels real and alive. We want more, not just on the surface, but deep down in your soul. You're just not comfortable. You're longing for more. You're longing for expansion. We've all had those moments looking at our lives or the world around us and wondering, is this all there is to my story? Is this all there is to do? And here's the good news. Asking that question is not a sign that anything is wrong. It's a sign that something in you is waking up. Something is stirring up. It means your soul is stirring. It means you are reaching for more. Not more things to do or earn, but more truth, deeper understanding, more peace, more freedom, more of the real you. You just want to be authentic. And that's why we are here tonight. Together we are opening the door to that something more. What is that something that we are longing for, that you can't put in words? Life is not meant to be just survival, not just pushing through ups and downs. Life is spiritual, it's powerful and overflowing with abundance. And we gather each time here to learn how to align with that flow of life. When that question rises in your heart, is this all there is? The answer is a joyful and a certain no. There is always more. Remember, we'll talk about as far as you can see, you can have. There is always more. Life always has more to give. And that's why, again, we often talk about what are you approaching the ocean of life with? There is more love waiting to meet you. More peace ready to fill you. More opportunities and possibilities than you can see right now. That's why we talk about the exceedingly and the abundantly and above. Or about the good that it's out there, it has not been heard, has not been seen, has not even been conceived in the mind of anyone. What Spirit has prepared for each and every one of us. Every new moment, every new day holds the chance for fresh beginnings. Every new day, every new moment. And you can create the new day, the new moment. For growth, for beauty to rise, to surprise you in unexpected ways. Remember, you always have the power to hit reset and start your day fresh anytime you choose. Anytime you choose. You are not at the end of your story. There is always more unfolding, and Spirit is forever calling you into that something more. There's always more. You wake up in the morning, Spirit, there's something more for me this day to discover. There is more good, more greatness, more insight. There is more. More. Yes, we all try different ways to find that more. We read books, listen to podcasts, practice positive thinking, and those things can lift us up for a while. However, the deeper sense of peace and purpose often still slips away when life throws us another curveball. That's where this teaching comes in. It doesn't just tell us to think better thoughts for a moment. It invites us into something much deeper. And what is that? It invites us into real transformation. And the real transformation doesn't start out there in the world. It begins inside of us. Inside. It begins in the quiet places of the heart, in the way we perceive ourselves, in the stories we tell ourselves, that inner dialogue, and in the beliefs we hold. We can't overemphasize the importance of letting go of the old beliefs, the old way. When we shift something within, when we start to believe that we are loved, that we are guided, that we are enough, it doesn't stay hidden inside. It will always show outside. That new awareness begins to ripple outward into every part of our lives. You can't hide it. The way we speak changes. The way we treat ourselves changes. The way we show up in our families, in our work, in our communities, it all begins to reflect that inner shift. It will begin to reflect that I can do Spirit. I can do all things. to begin to reflect all things are possible. To begin to reflect as far as I can see, I'll have. It will begin to reflect, I've treated and I'm moving my feet. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. At first, it's just a small flame in one corner. But soon the light stretches out and the whole space begins to feel different. In the same way, one shift in consciousness, one moment of choosing truth over fear can brighten every area of your life. And that's the invitation of this path, to keep turning inward. And it's not to escape the world, but to let spirit flow through us freely, that it spills into our relationships, our choices, our health, our finances, and even in the way we see the world. Again, exceedingly abundantly and above overflowing measures. Transformation is never just personal. When it happens, it blesses everyone around us. Again, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden." The good of spirit cannot be hidden. This way of life helps us to wake up to something beautiful. It teaches us to live with a steady awareness that we are never separate from spirit. We are one with spirit. Again, in that power we live, we move, and we have our being. When we start from that place of oneness, something shifts. You're standing in power, in authority. Our thoughts soften, our choices become clearer. And even the way we look at ourselves changes. Because you come from that place of connection, from that place of all it's possible. Even in the miry clay, you know you're coming out. Because the thoughts of the universe for you are thoughts of good all the time. And we are not about covering things up like painting over rust. It's about real change, a transformation that reaches the very core of who we are. You could think of it as turning struggles into strength, or fear and limitation into freedom and peace. And the simple truth is that it is possible. In case you're going through a situation and you're wondering, how would I ever come out of this? Everything is possible if you believe. And that's why we always talk about calming down, quieting down, and listening to spirit. It will always direct you. That internal GPS will always direct you. In other words, what once weighed us down can actually become the very thing that awakens us to our spiritual power. This is the kind of change that doesn't just make life look better on the surface. It makes us feel whole and alive within. Everything is possible because you believe. Let me share a brief story that illustrates what this teaching is truly about. There was once a woman who carried 2 clay pots to fetch water each day. She balanced them on a pole across her shoulders. One of the pots was perfect, it never leaked a drop. The other pot had a crack in it, and by the time they got home, half the water had leaked out. The cracked pot felt ashamed and said, "I am so sorry. Because of me, you don't get all the water you need." But the woman just smiled and said, "Haven't you noticed the flowers along your side of the path? I planted seeds there, and every day you've been watering them without even realizing it. Because of you, we have beauty along the way. I love this story because it reminds us of what this teaching is really inviting us into. It tells us that life isn't about pushing down our flaws or pretending they don't exist. It's about seeing with new eyes, like I said, from that place of connection, recognizing that even the cracks within us can be used by Spirit to bring more love, more color, and more life into the world. That situation. And we want to always see that situation as a setup for greater good. So when we ask, is this all there is? This teaching reminds us that the answer is a joyful no. There's always more beauty, even in those cracks, more love, more life than we ever even begin to imagine. There's always more. And this more, it's not and cannot be limited by age. And often that more is already flowing through us, even in the very places we once thought we are broken. Whatever you think is the challenge, the minuses, the flaws, your weaknesses, that is what Spirit is greatly has perfected how to use. That is a great tool in the hands of the Spirit, or Spirit. Now let's pause with this. How many of us looked at ourselves and thought, I am not enough, or this part of me is broken? We say things, I'm not educated enough. I'm not this enough. If not for this situation, I would have been this. Yet Spirit can take those very places and turn them into blessings. What we once thought was wasted or useless might be the very, very channel through which love and growth flow, not only for us, but for everyone around us. Think about your own life for a moment. What are those things that you think are flaws, that are minuses? What are the cracks you judged in yourself? Your past mistakes, your struggles, your limitations. What if those cracks are already being used to bring beauty, wisdom, and compassion into the world? What if those very places are where Spirit shines through you most clearly? But from our own eyes, we call it mistakes. We call them cracks. We call them weaknesses. As Ernest Holmes reminds us, God is not limited by precedent. Or we say again, principles are not subject to precedent. Wherever you are and you apply these principles, it will show forth for you. So what is that? What is it that makes this teaching so powerful and life-giving? It comes down to three simple but powerful truths. There is one source. That source lives in you and me. And there is a law that brings into form whatever we believe and plant in our minds. There is one source. That source lives in you, it lives in me. And there's law that brings into form whatever we believe and plant into our minds. First, there is one infinite source behind everything. Some call it God, others Spirit, or infinite intelligence. Whatever you call it. Whatever name you use, it's the power that creates, heals, and guides all of life. A simple way to picture it is like the ocean and the waves. The ocean is the source. It's immeasurable, endless, it's powerful. Each of us is like a wave rising out of the ocean. We are not separate from it. We are made of the same essence. In this source, we live, we move, and we have our being. Second, this one shows up as you. If God's Spirit is everywhere, then Spirit must be right where you are, because you're one with it. In that power, again, you live, you move, and you have your being. You are not some flawed being waiting to be fixed. You are a unique expression of the divine. Unique. Ernest Holmes said it beautifully. God in you as you. Think about what happens when light shines through a prism. The one beam of light breaks into many colors, bright, beautiful, unique. In the same way, Spirit is the light, and you are the prism. The way Spirit shines through you is revealed in your talents, in your gifts, in your personality and love. No one else can reflect Spirit in exactly the way you do. Your colors, your way of expressing have never been seen before and will never be repeated. That is how precious and one of a kind you are. Unique expression of Spirit. Third, there is the law of mind, which is like the creative soil of the universe. Whatever seed you plant, the soil grows, whether it's fear or faith, doubt or possibility. The Lord doesn't pick and choose. It simply brings into form what we deeply believe. Jesus said in simple words, according to your faith, it is done. So, if you believe in the exceedingly and the abundantly and above, it is done to you according to that. If you restrict yourself and do not want expansion, you would experience that, because that law does not know fear or lack. Whatever you give to it, to multiply and give back to you. These spiritual principles remind us to begin with the truth of who we are, that we are one with infinite. Everything is possible with you. From that place of awareness, when we plant seeds of love, peace, and abundance, they naturally take root and grow. It's like planting in rich, healthy soil. The results come not from struggle, but because they are grounded in truth. Think of it this way. When you plant a sunflower seed, you don't have to beg it to become a sunflower. You trust the soil, the sunlight, and the process of life itself. In the same way, when we align with spiritual law, we can trust that we have planted in faith, and it will blossom in its right time. That's the beauty of this teaching. When we plant in truth, life unfolds with grace. Again, all things are possible with you because you believe. Let's take a moment to really feel this truth together. A small process. Let's pause. If you feel comfortable, gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Of course, please don't do this if you are driving or operating machinery. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out. feel yourself settling into this moment. Now imagine that you are holding a seed in your hand. This seed represents something your heart is yearning for. Peace, love, healing, joy, strength, abundance, freedom, or even a fresh start. Whatever your heart yearns for, call it. Inside this seed is the possibility of everything you dream of. It carries hope, growth, new opportunities, and the reminder that what you desire, it's already waiting to bloom within you. Whatever comes to mind for you, just let that word rest in your heart. Picture yourself planting that seed in rich, fertile soil. This soil is spirit itself. It's unlimited, it's abundant, and always ready to bring life forth. You don't have to force the seed to grow. You don't have to beg it to become what it is meant to be. You simply trust the process. So as you breathe, feel the truth that everything you need is already within you. The seed is already programmed to grow into what it was created to be. And in the same way, you are already designed for wholeness, for love, for peace. Take one more breath in and affirm silently to yourself, I plant my life in truth. I trust Spirit to bring it into full bloom. I plant my life in truth, and I trust Spirit to bring it into full bloom. And when you're ready, open your eyes, carrying that awareness with you. The seed is planted, it's growing, it's turning out to be what you have sent it to be. Ernest Holmes captured this when he said, change your thinking and change your life. He wasn't talking about simply repeating a nice phrase. He was pointing us toward a deep shift in the very pattern of our thoughts. Again, the Bible, the scriptures echo the same wisdom. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. True transformation is an invitation to go deeper, to renew how we see life, how we believe, and how we live each day. That's why we talk about positive expectancy. It's about opening our hearts to a new way of being that lets Spirit's light shine through us more fully. We want to be open, we want to be receptive. So the question is, how do we carry this truth into our daily lives? How do we let it become more than words and actually make it part of how we live? 3 simple practices for the week. Begin with oneness. Each morning, before you reach for your phone or start your day, pause and say, I am one with Spirit. I am one with peace, strength, abundance flows through me today. Like we said, declare what you want. Speak things into being. Remind yourself of who you are. This centers you in the truth before the world's noise begins. The second one, shift in the moment. When fear, doubt, or stress shows up, take one slow breath and silently say, "This is not the whole story. Spirit is greater than this moment." Remind yourself of the thoughts of spirit for you. That small pause breaks the cycle and reopens you to trust. And the third one, practice gratitude. At the end of the day, write down 3 things or more, as many as you can remember, you are grateful for. Not just things, but qualities as well. For example, courage, kindness, clarity, resilience. This reminds you that spirit's qualities are already alive within you. So let's come back to the question we started with. Is there more to life than what I see right now? The answer, of course, is yes. What we are talking about is learning to live a spiritual life, a life that has more ease, more flow, and a sense of co-creating with something greater than ourselves. We are co-creators with the universe, with God, with spirit. It's not about a quick fix, and it's not about forcing things to happen. It's not about pushing or struggling or pretending everything is fine. No, that's not what they're teaching about. Instead, it's about practicing a way of being that lets spirit move through us naturally. When those thoughts come in, we know how to pause and break the cycle and talk about focus on positivity, because the thoughts, the predominant thoughts, create who we are. When we truly begin to know who we are, that we are one with infinite life, we stop exhausting ourselves trying to control everything. We stop forcing reality to bend to our will. And we begin to trust and allow spirit to do what spirit always does. Unfold life with wisdom, with love, and order. Problems don't magically disappear, but our relationship to them changes. Life becomes less about running from what's hard and more about remembering the truth that has always been within you, within me, that we are whole, powerful, and divine at our core. So as we close tonight, I want you to carry this with you. You are not here just to survive or to get through the days. You are here to truly live, to thrive, to be abundant. There's always more available. Just a little stretching. The more you open your heart to the truth of who you really are, the more life itself would open doors for you. Take that awareness with you into the week ahead and let it remind you that there is always more of every good thing you can think of. Love, joy, abundance, possibility. There is more. You've not really reached your limits. There is more. You're very elastic. Your brain can take it, can rewire our brain. Neuroplasticity. And the beautiful part is that more doesn't start somewhere out there. It begins with what it's already alive inside you. And you can do all things through this power that's at work within you. And so it is. Thank you, and many blessings to you all.